Hi, my name is Nunziata, and I'm a New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and I'm a proud FENIX Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I am thrilled to be speaking with an award-winning composer, arranger, and orchestrator, my friend and collaborator on many projects, the great Eric Fegan. For more on Eric, you can check out his bio below this video, but in the meantime, here's a sneak peek at Eric's amazing work. Well, hello, Eric. How are you?
I'm good. Hello, Will. It's great to be talking to you and doing this talk.
I know, me too. Well, we've been speaking a lot during this quarantine because we're collaborating on quite a few theater pieces, but what the audience just got to see and listen to is a sneak peek of what's going to be your amazing score for the original musical Van Gogh. I'm so honored to be conceiving it with Rachel Bertone and directing it. We have Emily White as our devising dramaturg, and we have the fabulous, award-winning composer extraordinaire Eric Fegan himself composing. Eric, you know I adore you, but I can't wait for the audience to get a little bit of a sneak peek into you. And I want to know, where did you grow up and when did you know that you had a knack for music?
So I grew up not too far away from the city on Long Island. And, Broadway has always been part of me because I live close and saw a bunch of shows. And music, in terms of music, I started playing piano at the age of 6, but I, enjoyed music my whole life, and it's been always been with me. Interestingly, I wasn't always sure that it was the thing I was going to do. Primarily, I went to undergrad. I had a math degree from MIT.
Excuse me?
Yeah, not to be braggy about it.
Wait, excuse me? Mr. Just gonna name drop my school. I went to Boston College, but I'm sorry, MIT's like 500 ranking numbers ahead of it. But keep going, Eric.
No, sorry. I was like, but then I didn't want to not say it because,
Eric, it's the truth. You're a smarty pants. Keep going.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, but no, I mean, so the math turned out to not be what I wanted to do anyway. And while I was at MIT, I actually did a lot of theater and even met a bunch of theater people in the Boston area, although incidentally did not meet Rachel and Emily, who I am now collaborating with on the Van Gogh piece, who were doing theater in Boston around the same time. But yeah, I mean,
I love that, Eric. Listen, I love the fact that, from a young age, you knew you had this talent. You didn't know you were going to pursue it. I want people to know that I first met you when, I heard about you through the amazing musical you created with Jamie Malitz, The Valley, which is already getting picked up by numerous universities and colleges across the country. And I cannot wait to direct it when it hits Broadway. And I know I'm signed on to direct it. And I now want the world to know, so it's publicly noted, that I am going with that sucker because it is so good. But I first heard you play, Eric. It's on your website, and it's actually a video of you playing an original piece, almost improvisationally done while you were still in college. And it was not only so moving, and I want people to check out the video, and maybe I'll even actually be playing it while I ramble about you some more, which Eric, I do often. You're used to it.
Choose a part of it that isn't too distracting, so that.
Oh, please! I'm gonna play the whole thing, and frankly, because that was my first time noticing your talent, Eric, it really made me think about you for Van Gogh, because for me, I wanted it to be someone who had a music theater sensibility, but had a classical foundational craft. And that's you, my friend. And I want to know when you, I want to look at two pieces. One, the Valley, for example, which is, more of a classic kind of music theater type sensibility, versus Van Gogh, which is going to be more of maybe a classically, more of a classical sensibility. When you look at two different projects like that, are you approaching them both the same, differently, or what?
Yeah. So before I get into that, I just want to say, so I have a classical background in terms of piano and composition. And, but at the same time, I knew that that wasn't quite where I wanted to end up in the classical world, because there's some amazing things. But I think what I was, I was missing some of the like real connection from the music to other things, which is what musical theater is all about, is music providing context for all sorts of experiences.
And we're going to be playing a little bit of the Valley score here. Your score for that musical is unbelievable. I mean, I'm hearing like inspiration from, it's like a little Andrew Lippa, Stephen Schwartz. You got like a little Bernstein in there. I'm like, this guy's a genius, because it's all coming from one person. But I mean, you can almost tell that you were inspired by so many amazing composers within the music theater world.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely take inspiration from all of the theater that has come before me. And and so I sort of, that all comes together in the Valley, and it takes place in Iceland. So I also, looked at the world of Icelandic music, which, I mean, it's interesting because, what do you look at? Do you look at the folk music? Do you look at what the music that's popular in Iceland? Icelandic musicians and instruments. So I looked at all of that. And similarly with Van Gogh, the setting was very important to me, because I was sort of looking at, this is in Paris in, the Impressionist period, which, I sort of know a lot of the musical side of the Impressionist movement, which isn't exactly the same, but, they're definitely connected.
You have such an amazing ability to storytell. You're a great storyteller. For the Valley, the nuance that you did in terms of your, not only, by the way, you're composing, but your arrangement and orchestrating, you were able to not only bring it into the 21st century, but you were able to just kind of beautifully articulate and thread this Icelandic world by your studying of those instruments, of that instrumentation, of the feel and the vibe of Iceland. And then with Van Gogh, the idea that I knew you had this understanding of the impressionistic world, right? You were able to actually, with just piano, make it sound like an orchestra, but also you were able to kind of illuminate the feeling we get when we see an impressionistic painting. I mean, it's really an amazing ability. And I have to say, well, I'm speaking a lot now, but you know this about me. I get excited when I speak to you, Eric. What can I say? I love the fact that too, your study of math, I'm sure, has helped you even subconsciously, because it's like, how does this guy, you're composing, you're arranging, you're orchestrating all of these different, I mean, I can't keep it straight in my head. So I'm like, this guy must be mathematical to be able to segment it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely, it's like, because I mean, it is like, in a way, I think, in music, because, when I am trying to draw on a specific emotion, I won't say it comes instantly into my head, but I feel the music of that emotion. And then, where the math comes in is then, okay, I have this amorphous feeling of music. What does the music actually look like? You know,
Right.
what is the instrument playing?
But I love that you can actually like see it in your mind. And on top of that, and I want to mention a word that you mentioned, Eric, that, you know, we've been talking a lot about, obviously, throughout this quarantine, because you've been one of my main collaborators throughout this time that I will always hold in my heart. And, you know, the idea that we've been able to connect and create during this time. You mentioned the word connection, and you coming on as a FENIX artist. I am so excited for other artists, not only here in the States, but around the world, to connect with you. Because for me, Eric, your work, whether it be you're composing, you're orchestrating, you're arranging, everything for me that you do is transcendent and universal. So I'm so excited for you to connect with other collaborators. And for you as an artist, does that excite you?
Of course, yeah. I mean, you know, forming connections is what we do as artists, you know, not just as the business, but as, you know, the art, the theater is meant to be viewed by as many people as possible.
Well, you're a genius, my friend, and I'm so grateful for the time that you took today to speak with me. I'm so glad you're on board FENIX. I adore you, but you know that, and now the world knows it. And I will definitely probably be speaking to you in 10 minutes about some project. You know, I'll probably bother you like I always do. But I'm so grateful to be speaking with you, and thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
In the digital age, artists and bands struggle to make a living. In fact, only a small number of artists can live off their craft. For the 98% of artists that don't have the luxury of being signed to a label, it's tough. But artists deserve to live off their art. Wherever you are around the world, appreciation of music does not change. FENIX brings bands and their fans together, whilst allowing bands to properly monetize their passion. The FENIX app will directly connect bands and fans with no need for middlemen. We're utilizing the blockchain to give the power back to the artist once and for all. Join FENIX, join the change.